さて、シュタインズゲートを開くときだ。
前から気になってたんだけど、そのシュタインズゲートって何なの？
It's a good question.
オカリンの口癖なんだよね。
I think he talked about it as like fate, right?
シュタインズゲートはシュタインズゲートだ。それ以上でも以下でもない。
説明になってない。
いちいち水を差すな。今考えるべきはそこではないだろう。
I place my finger on the send button. My hands are shaking. I fight to keep them steady.
じゃあ、レンジ起動させるぜよ。
I swallow hard. The turntable begins to spin backwards as the microwave comes to life. The timer takes down. 163, 162, 161. Change the past. It seems very simple to do. But just as Kurisu said, there's no telling what might happen. I said I'd take responsibility, but that was just talk. If a time paradox does occur, it would do irreparable damage to the world I know. 150, 149, 148. How am I supposed to take responsibility for that? Lightning crackles in the air around us. It's working. All I need to do is press the send button. 136, 135, 134. I can't stop now. I want to see what lies beyond. Curiosity pushes me forward. There's no way this will destroy the world. There's no way. 122, 121, 120.
エル、プサイ、コングル。
I press the button. My phone displays a flying mail animation and the words sending mail. 116, 115. A wave of vertigo washes over me. It feels as if my feet have left the ground. Suddenly, my vision blurs and everything turns monochrome. Is the ground shaking? Every cell in my body is screaming, this is wrong.
オカリン、どうかした？
Maedie's voice brings me to my senses. I realize that color has returned to the world. What was that just now?
大丈夫？
Maedie waves her hand in front of my face. After blinking several times, I notice I'm still standing stock still, gripping my phone. My phone should be displaying mail sent, but it's not. Instead, it's showing the normal standby display. Something isn't right here. I look around. I'm inside the lab. The phone wave named subject to change isn't on. When I sent the mail, the timer read 115. In other words, it should still be running for about 2 more minutes. Yet now, the phone wave named subject to change is silent. I scan the room. Other things feel wrong. Just a few seconds ago, Dadu was sitting in front of the X68000. But now, he's sitting in front of the lounge computer. What? Did he teleport? At least, I don't remember seeing Dadu get up and move to the lounge. Kurisu is sitting cross-legged on the sofa, reading a massive technical book. She should be in the development room too. Moika is standing at the edge of the development room. Nothing particularly different about her. Mairi is next to me, looking at me with a confused expression. This is wrong.
マユリ、俺は何分ぐらいここに立っていた？
どういうこと？
いいから教えてくれ。
30秒ぐらいじゃないかな。
30秒？本当か？
急に電話レンジちゃんのところに歩いて行ったかと思ったら、携帯を取り出してね、すごくハーハー言い始めて。
マユシ、今の言葉もう一度よろう。
Daru calls out from the lounge.
すごくハーハー言い始めて。
はあはあってとこだけリピート。もっと色っぽく。
No.
やめなさい、変態。
We don't have time for this. We have some science to figure out. Kurisu and Daru are exchanging their usual banter. How could these guys be so calm? I just sent a mail that may have changed the past. Why aren't they interested in the result?
そうだ。メールは？
I quickly check my mail.
メールは1週間前に届いている。
何のこと？
金は？ロト6は当たったのか？
I search my memories but turn up nothing. No memories of buying a ticket. No memories of winning third place. Nothing.
そこのセレセブよ。俺は3等を当てたか？
だからセレセブって言うな。で、3等って何のことよ？
何？
Again, this feeling of disconnect. I approach Kurisu, who's lounging on the sofa.
今何と言った？
何よ？
今何と言ったんだ？
Kurisu glares back at me.
文句あるの？私が何を言おうと勝手。
そうではなく、3等って何のことと言っただろう？ロト6の3等だ。
は？
Kurisu gives me a puzzled look. It doesn't seem like she's messing with me.
ダル、俺はたった今ロト6の当たり番号を電話レンジカッコ借りて送った。そうだな。おお！
Daru's eyes light up.
その発想はなかったわ。もしかして D メールでその方法を使えば僕ら億万長者じゃね？ PC パーツ買えるしメイクインにも行きまくれる。ひょー！みなぎってきた。
This is wrong.
マユリ、バナナでトラックの荷台を満杯にするって喜んでたよな。
トラックの荷台？誰が満杯にするの？
This is wrong. I look at Moeka. She's staring at the floor as usual, but I don't miss the confused glance she throws my way.
待て待て！たった今オペレーションウルドの第2段階を実行に移しただろ。
第2段階って過去を変えられるかどうか確かめる実験のことでしょ？
そうだ、そのことだ。
だから今みんなで考えてるんじゃん。
何？
どんな内容を送れば過去が変わったかわかるだろうねって。
でもオカリンが言ったロト6のアイディアはグッジョブと言わざるを得ない。
でもそんなの現金だってマユシーは思うな。
It's very unsettling. Just being the only person that remembers something happening.
あ、現金は現金でもね、諭吉さんいっぱいっていう意味じゃなくて。
そこは説明しなくてもわかると思う。
本当？よかった。でね、現金だからもっと世界が平和になりますようにみたいなのにしようよ。例えばね、世界中のすべての人がウーパクッションを持っているようにするととっても幸せだと思うよ。
それで幸せになるのはちびっことまゆしだけだろ、上皇。
What are these guys saying? They're acting like I never sent that email with the winning numbers.
こんにちは。
The front door opens slowly and Lukako sticks his head inside. Oh, and a cute new outfit.
ルカくんだ。いらっしゃい。すみません、急にお邪魔してしまって。
Lukako bows his head apologetically. Mayuri, Kurisu, and Daru go into welcome mode. Moeka keeps staring at her phone. But I'm not in any condition to greet Lukako. I can't stop sweating, and it's not because of the heat. I don't know what's going on anymore. Questions keep spinning around in my head.
ルカくん、マユシーのコス来てくれる気になったの？だったら嬉しいな。あ、いえ、そうじゃなくて。
Lukako looks at me apologetically, like he wants to say something.
なんだ？
I reply mechanically, my mind is still blank.
実は岡部さんじゃなくて京馬さんに謝らないといけないことが。
What could he have to apologize for? Timidly, Lukako holds out his hand, and there, between his fingers, is a Lotto 6 ticket. And the numbers are the same as the one in my D-mail. I grab Lukako by his slender wrist.
ルカ子、お前これをどこで？
痛いです。オカリ、ルカ君をいじめちゃダメだよ。
Maedi gets between us. Good job, Maedi. I let go reluctantly.
岡部、あんたどうしたの？さっきからなんか変よ。
暑さでやられた？
ルカ子、すまなかった。だが教えてくれ。そのロト6の件はどこで手に入れた？
僕、京馬さんに数字を教えてもらって。
教えた？俺が？
Lukako nods with teary eyes.
京馬さんから当たるかもしれないからこの数字で買ってみろって言われ。
本当か？それはいつ？
1週間前です。
Damn you, past me. What were you thinking? This wasn't supposed to happen. However, the past certainly has changed. Or has it? It seems like it has, but at the same time, the present seems to have changed too.
じゃあもしかしてルカシロト6当てたの？
わあ、じゃあオカリンは超能力者だね。
あんたまさか電話レンジで当たり番号を送ったの？
Her question makes no sense.
なぜ問いかけなのだ。お前も見ていたはずだ。
見ていた？何を？
Disconnect. Our stories don't match.
送った3等の当選番号をついさっきだ。お前たちも一緒にいた。全員で話し合ってその方法を選んだ。そして過去は変わった。変わったんだ。
I glance at the phone wave, name subject to change. There's no denying it now. That grotesque appliance, that child of microwave and cell phone, actually changed the past. We have the power of a god. Though I still don't know why everyone else forgot about it.
そんなことよりルカシ、いくら当たったん
？70万だな。3等だ。
I answer with conviction. However,
いえ、
Lukako begins fidgeting. Something strange about his behavior.
本当にごめんなさい、京馬さん。せっかくこんなすごいこと教えてもらったのに、僕数字を1個間違えて記入しちゃって。
It's okay. Huh? He what? I stare at the numbers on the ticket in Lukako's trembling hands.
18が19だったら、京馬さんのおっしゃる通り3等だったんです。
うおー、惜しすぐる。
I'm pretty sure I sent it with a 19. I'll know if I check my phone's send history. I take out my phone and bring up the send history.
なぜだ。ないぞ。
Oh. The email I sent has vanished from my send history. Just like everyone's memories. The email should be there, but it's not. Almost as if it never existed in the first place. I ignore the worried stares of my lab mems and head outside for some fresh air. I need to calm down and figure this out. The ticket Lukako bought turned out to be 4th place. The prize is just 5,000 yen.
そこの岡部倫太郎さ。
Suzuha calls out to me. She's still polishing her bicycle. Tenoji Nae is squatting next to her, watching her work with great interest. 2 questions come to mind. 1. How long has she been polishing that thing? 2. Just how much free time does the bra and tube workshop have?
洗脳されたような顔してるよ。大丈夫？
洗脳。俺が？
ここには他に誰もいないじゃん。
はあ、そうだな。
それはどっちに対するそうだな。洗脳されたこと？他に誰もいないこと？
洗脳されたことだ。
されたの？
Suzuha suddenly steps up to me and grabs my face. Then she forces my eyes open with her index finger and thumb. Oh my goodness.
何をする？
動かないで。
Suzuha peers into my eye with a serious expression. But a second later, she lets go and steps back.
大丈夫。洗脳されてない。
なんだと？
洗脳されてる時ってさ、下まぶたの中に よくチップが仕込まれてることがあるんだよね。
Chip? Immediately after saying that, Suzuha gasps and covers her mouth. Then she puts her hand on my shoulder and gives me an embarrassed smile.
岡部倫太郎、今のは機密扱いでお願い。
Don't tell me. Is she...
そうか。お前も機関に捕らえられていた経験があるのだな。
機関？セルンのことだっけ？
いや、皆まで言うな。お前の苦しみ、俺にはよく理解できる。
そう？
機関がひた隠しにする巨大洗脳施設、通称アポカリプス・オブ・ガリアン。あそこはまさに生きる地獄。二度と思い出したくないのだな。
そう圧砲なんとかって名前じゃない気もするけど、生き地獄だったのは確か。
やはりお前とは良き仲間になれそうだ、バイト戦士よ。聖戦の日は近いぞ。
Suzuha lifts her hand in a half-hearted gesture of enthusiasm.
バイトのお姉ちゃん、洗脳って何
Nae asks as she tugs on the hem of Suzuha's clothes. Dear.
それにはこの王院京馬が答えてやろう。
いいです。
え？
Nae hides behind Suzuha.
苗は岡部倫太郎が怖いみたいだね。
シスター・ブラウンよ。俺にイフを抱くのはいいが、同時に世界を股にかけるマッドサイエンティストへの敬意も払うべきだぞ。
世界を股にかけてるの？
いかにも。俺の天才的な灰色の脳細胞は世界各国の首脳が欲しがるほどのものなのだ。
Still clinging to Suzuha's waist, Nae opens her eyes even wider and gasps in admiration.
洗脳ってのは今みたいなことを言うんだよ、苗。
何を言う、そこのバイト戦士。俺は真実しか話していないのだから、これは洗脳などではない。
オカリンおじさんは嘘ついたの？
誰がおじさんか。
You have to be gentle. She's little.
子供相手に怒鳴っちゃダメだよ。怯えてるじゃん。
But Mr. makes me sound old. I'm not even old enough to drink yet. What a disgrace. No, there's no point in getting angry at a child. I need to show composure as an adult.
あんたって岡部よりよっぽど変態ね。もうさん付けで呼んでやらないからな。
僕は変態じゃないよ。変態紳士だよ。
はあ？
I don't know.
ねえねえ、それよりオカリン、大丈夫かな？
I can hear voices from the second story window. And since we can hear them clearly from here, Suzuha starts chuckling.
もしかしてずっと聞いていたか。
ごめん、盗み聞きするつもりはなかったけど、どうしても聞こえちゃうからさ。
タイムマシンのことも。
ああ、聞いちゃった。やるね、この。
She strikes my upper arm in what I assume is a gesture of encouragement. What is "way to go, you" supposed to mean?
口外したりしていないだろうな。もし誰かに喋ったりしてみろ。俺はお前の口を封じなければならなく。
喋ってないよ。 私って結構口は堅いからさ。
だったらいい。それで一つ聞くが、たった今2階で放電現象が起きたのを見たか？
放電？昨日みたいなグラグラ揺れるやつ？
I nod.
さっき1回やったよね。店長いないから助かったね。揺れて怖かった。
I ignore the little girl's honest impression.
たった今、ほんの1分前ぐらいにもグラグラ揺らしたはずなんだが。
そうなの？でも2回目は見てないな。
Suzuha tilts her head quizzically, then turns back to her bicycle.
私がこの子を磨くのに夢中だったのかもしんないけどさ。苗は見た？
Sister Braun frantically shakes her head.
2回目は見てないんだな。
見てないです。
Disappointment spreads through me. What does this mean? Events I remember happening didn't. The fact that I sent a D-mail. The fact that we argued over what to send. But Kurisu herself remembers that I called her Slub Sev during that argument. Right after sending the D-mail, I was hit by a feeling of vertigo. That's probably related somehow.
なんかあったの？
お前はタイムトラベルについて詳しいか？
それってどういう意味かな？
Suzuha seems slightly suspicious. So I explain to her what happened just now. Nai probably won't understand a word of it, so I don't think it'll be necessary to silence her.
信じらんない。
Suzuha's dumbfounded after hearing my explanation.
そんなの聞いたことないよ。ねえ、本当のこと言ってる？
I mean, we did get that lotto ticket though, right?
当たり前だ。俺たちは紛れもなくタイムマシンを開発した。そして過去を変えることができたのだ。我らの偉業を否定することは誰にもできない。そう、誰にもだ。
ああ、もうそういうことじゃなくて。
Suzuha grabs at her own hair in frustration. But then her expression turns thoughtful.
君の言うことが本当なのかどうかわかんないけどさ。
She suddenly lowers her voice.
こういう時はジョン・タイターに聞いてみればいいよ。
ジョン・タイター。
ほら、今さ話題になってるらしいじゃん。過去へ遡ってきたタイムトラベラー。なんか知ってっかもよ。同じタイムトラベラー同士ってことで。
なるほど。確かにお前の言う通りかもしれん。あ、いや、それで間違いない。
The undoing of past events could possibly be explained through the many worlds interpretation that Titor talked about. And come to think of it, it was Titor's advice that led me to the IBN 5100. He should be able to give me a hint this time too. I quickly take out my phone.
俺だ。ジョン・タイターはこの俺を導くために未来からやってきたかもしれん。なあ、そうだ。奴がこの2010年へとやってきたのはまさしくシュタインズゲートの選択だよ。エルプサイコングル。
バイトのお姉ちゃん、あのおじさんは誰と電話で話してるの？さあ、誰だろう。未来人と交信してたりして。未来人？
シスター・ブラウン。俺の電話の相手が気になるか？
気になりません。
Naya shakes her head rapidly. She looks scared. I don't blame her. I respond with the wary expression of a mad scientist who has seen everything and lost much.
気になったとしても今後絶対に聞くな。もし知れば俺はお前の口を封じなくてはならなくなる。さすが。
だから小学生をビビらせちゃダメだっての。
I assume Naya is frightened because of the aura of danger that follows me everywhere. She's right to be.
バイト戦士、俺は早速タイターに連絡を取ってみるぞ。素晴らしい助言に感謝する。
私役に立った？そんならよかった。
Part-time warrior's eyes pop open mid-sentence.
うわ、やっばー。店長聞かん、店長聞かん。
I follow Suzuha's glance to a moped headed this way. Judging by that sheer size of the driver, it must be Mr. Braun.
なえ、もし店長に聞かれたらさ、私はちゃんと店番してたって言ってよ。うん。だから今度自転車に乗せてね。乗せる乗せる。じゃあ頑張って岡部倫太郎。私応援してっからさ。
Suzuha pats me on the shoulder and rushes into the workshop. Naya and I are left in front of the store. The driver stops the moped and takes off his full face helmet, revealing Mr. Braun.
お父さん、おかえりなさい。
ねえ、そこのうさんくせえ野郎に何をされた？
Manager leaps from his moped and interposes himself between me and his daughter. His eyes are bloodshot. My spine freezes. What a powerful aura of malice.
ねえ、よくも俺の大事な娘をたぶらかしてくれたな。殺すぞ。
We would never do that. No, no.
待ってくれ。俺は何もしていない。
だったらなんでおめえとナイが二人っきりで話してんだ？あ？
二人きりじゃない。今の今まで鈴葉もここにいました。あの女は仕事をサボってそこのチャリを磨いていたんですよ。
Please forgive me, Suzuha. My life is too precious.
ナイ、そうなのか？
バイトのお姉ちゃんに自転車に乗せてもらう約束したの。だからサボってなかったって言わなきゃ。
Sister Braun ends up betraying Suzuha too. The manager breathes a heavy sigh.
サボる方法だけはうまいんだよな、あのバイト。
It's true, I've never seen her actually do work.
というか、この俺を一瞬でも疑ったことについての謝罪はないんですか？
ねえよ、んなもん。
Stubborn old man. He thinks he owns the place just because he owns the place.
いいか、今後もうちの娘をたぶらかそうとしたらただじゃおかねえからな。
I mean, we shouldn't be alone with his daughter anyways.
そんな自殺行為はしませんよ。
He's a papa bear. Mr. Braun nods in satisfaction.
ねえ、シュークリーム買ってきたから一緒に食おう。
Oh, cute. He parks his moped next to part-time warrior's bicycle, then enters the store hand in hand with his daughter. Cream puffs? You can't get any more out of character than that. Is this what having kids does to a man?
おい、これバイト！サボってたことは分かってんだぞ、こら！あとなんで42型がつけっぱなしになってんだ？消しとけって言っただろうが！
ごめんなさい。
I leave Suzuha to her fate and return to the lab. I need to get in touch with Titor as quickly as possible. He might be able to give me the answers I seek. He might be even able to explain the event I witnessed a few days ago, the instantaneous disappearance of everyone on the streets of Akiba. When I burst into the lab, everyone looks at me with concerned expressions. Oh. Maedi starts to speak, presumably to console me, but I put up my hand to stop her.
待て。事情はすべて後で話す。
I explain that we can't experiment anymore now that Mr. Braun is back. Then I dismiss everyone for today.
おかり、明日バナナ買ってきてあげるね。
Maedi picks up her Upa plush toy off the sofa and hands it to me.
だからね、今はその子をむぎゅーっと抱きしめて元気出してね。
Maedi, what a sweetie. Looks like she's worried about me, but she shouldn't be. It's my job to worry about her. Aw. She has work after this, so she leaves. Dada goes with her, probably to see Kurisu. Before he leaves, Lukako apologizes again for messing up the Lotto 6 ticket. He knows about the time machine now. Next time I see him, I'll make him a lab mem to secure his silence. Moika leaves with nothing more than a tiny bow. In less than 30 minutes, Kurisu and I are the only ones left in the lab.
そこの助手、お前は帰らないのか？
目障りなら帰るけど。
目障りというわけではないが、何か用事でもあるのか？
いいえ、でもちょっと考えたいことがあって。
ホテルに戻って考えればいい。
何？追い出したいの？
そうか。どうせ友達もいないし、ホテルに帰っても一人ぼっちで寂しいから、この法院京馬に構ってほしいというわけだな。このお子様セレセブめ。
寂しいのはあんたの方だろ。さっきからあんまり元気ないし。なんなら相談に乗るぞ。私はある意味で部外者だから話しやすいんじゃない？年下の女に相談する男の人ってぐにょぐにょだけど、それでもいいんなら聞いてやってもいい。
Why does she have to be such a smartass? She even has a mocking grin on her face.
俺はメールをする用事があるのだ。どうしてもここにいたいのならば邪魔をせず静かにしているのだな。ザ・ゾンビ。
その呼び方が一番カチンとくるわね。
Despite her complaint, Kurisu makes no move to leave. She sits down on a sofa and starts reading a massive technical book. On closer inspection, I realize it's in English. Maybe my assistant isn't a genius, but an extreme studier.
コーヒーを飲むか？
Oh.
もらうわ。
I make some instant coffee for Kurisu. Maybe I should check what are all the mail. I take a fresh Dr. P out of the refrigerator for myself and sit down in front of the computer. Alright, let's do what needs to be done. I only hope this doesn't get undone too. My plan is to follow Suzuha's advice. Get in touch with Titor. After all, what I'm experiencing right now could have something to do with the many worlds interpretation. Which would mean that the Kurisu sitting over there isn't the same Kurisu with whom I discussed the Lotto 6. And it would mean that this lab isn't the lab where we discussed it. How can that be?
何もぞもぞやってんの？
Kurisu glares at me coldly. Damn it, she's looking at me like I'm a perv again. Oh my goodness. I keep telling her I'm not a perv. I'm hoeing Kyoma. Anyway, why am I the only one who remembers what happened? That's another question I'll ask John Titor. I don't know if he's a real time traveler, but he did help with the IBN 5100, so I'm inclined to trust him. But what should I write? Should I tell him everything? In any case, Worrying about it won't solve anything. Enough stalling. I take out my phone. I sigh and chug my soda. Now to wait for his reply. I check the @channel thread just to make sure, but Titor hasn't posted recently. I'm sorry, I forgot to read what we sent. Let's see. Outbox. Thanks for the intel on the IBM 5100. The code is from CERN's database. In other news, I've successfully built a machine that sends emails to the past. When we change the past by sending an email, does that change the world line? I noticed some events were undone. Does that mean the world line changed? You said the many worlds interpretation is correct, but I'd like to hear the proof if you don't mind. Kurisu says without lifting her eyes from her book. Maybe I should tell her about how the D-mail changed the past. I think you should. And about how she seems to have lost her memories about it. Why am I considering talking to Kurisu? Because I don't think Mayuri or Daru would understand this problem. Kurisu, on the other hand, might be able to form a hypothesis. That's what I hope. Just then, my phone rings. Is it Titor? Titor's calling me. Startled, I look at my phone's display. It's Daru. I click my tongue in disappointment. Don't scare me like that.
クリスティーナ、お前に話しておきたいことがある。
Trying to debate if I should pick up, but I feel like we should talk to Kurisu about this.
その前に電話出なくていいわけ？
だるからだ。どうせくだらない内容だろう。
Before he left, Daru said he was going to May Queen. He had a silly grin on his face. There's no way he'd suddenly call me for something serious.
あんたって本当に独善的だな。
お前は覚えていないかもしれないが、俺はさっき D メールで過去を変えた。
Kurisu stares at me. Her expression is more stern than usual.
私はあんたの言葉が冗談なのか本気なのか見極められるほど付き合いが長くない。
だが事実だ。そして俺以外のすべての人間がそのことを忘れた。
過去を変えたから現在も変わったって？バタフライ効果ね。でもあんたの言ってることはデタラメ。
なぜそう言い切る？
なんで岡部は過去を変えたことを覚えてるの？タイムマシンで物理的に過去へ行って歴史を変えてきたというのならまだギリギリ説明がつく。でも D メールの場合だとあんたは現在から一歩も動いていないことになるのよ。だから現在が変わって私たちが変化したならあんたも変化していないと矛盾が生まれる。それとも自分は観測者だから変化しないとでも言うつもり？その場合あんたはこう主張していることになる。自分は人間という存在ではないって。
I understand what Kurisu is saying, and I don't have the means to convince her otherwise. And that's exactly why I'm trying to get in touch with Titor.
すべてはシュタインズゲートの選択であり、この俺の持つ魔眼、リーディングシュタイナーの力によるものだ。
また始まった。
Kurisu sighs and goes back to her book.
あんたのお遊びには付き合ってられないわ。どうせそのリーディングなんたらってたった今命名したんでしょ。
は
I should have known better than to approach Kurisu unprepared. There's still not enough information, even for a mad scientist like me, to explain the things I've experienced. I bite my lip in frustration. And she stayed because she's worried about him.
恋する乙女が好きな相手からのメールを待ってるみたい。
She sure likes to attack me for every little thing.
そんなに構ってほしいのか。
ささやかな復讐よ。あんたからのひどい扱いにいつもぐっと耐えてるんだから、それぐらい許せ。
I agree.
これでも俺はお前をリスペクトしているつもりだぞ。
名前すらまともに呼んだこともないくせによく言う。
それについてはすまないと思っている。
Kurisu lifts her face and stares at me in shock.
へえ、意外。あんたって謝るんだ。
謝るさ。だがどうしようもないのだ。俺の脳はお前のことを助手のクリスティーナという認識で固定してしまっていて、直しようがないからな。
回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺してやりたい。
Right after that silly exchange, John Titor's mail arrives. I quickly open the mail. Huh. So he's asking for verification. And we're summarizing the experiment to Titor.
メールの相手って誰？
ジョン・タイター。
嘘。
奴はよほど悪意のある人間以外に対してはオープンだ。メルアドも公開している。こうしてやり取りするのは2度目だ。
道理であんたがタイタンの書き込みを引用したがるわけだ。信者ってわけね。
そういうわけではない。だが奴の話にはうなずける点も多い。
そう？フィクションにしか思えないけど。
So John Titor says that the convergence is 0.571015%, and that John Titor and everyone else doesn't carry like the memories from previous world lines. And in the case of physical time travel, memories are retained even if the world line changes. That's been proven by my own experience. But in the case of the email like the one you sent, the time traveler changes the past without actually traveling through time. A situation that scientists in my time never even considered. It wasn't even necessary since the invention of the time machine in 2034 gave us means of physical time travel. So I'm afraid that I have no idea how to explain the phenomenon you're experiencing. How do you measure divergence? Where do those numbers come from? It's hard reading it on the phone though. Let's see. So John Titor says, strictly speaking, I was not entirely accurate when I wrote that the Everett-Wheeler model is accepted in my time. The first functional time machine was completed in 2034. In the 2 years following that breakthrough, our understanding of the universe structure grew dramatically. In 2036, scientists proved that the universe is comprised of attractor fields, which describe the extent of world line convergence. This theory was first proposed in 2020. Sorry, I forgot to answer your question. I have a meter that measures divergence. A reading of 0% divergence corresponds to the world line I originally came from. In other words, it's subjective, not an absolute measurement. This tool can only indicate the current divergence. Okay. Please explain these attractor fields. How do they affect world lines? John Titor writes, put simply, attractor fields are the focal points of world line convergence. Their existence is responsible for the phenomena previously known as fate and chance. There's no real point to making small changes to a world line. Due to convergence, small changes do not have a lasting influence. Humans who can observe convergence are exceedingly rare. I haven't met anyone with that ability myself, so I'm unqualified to give you an accurate appraisal. But you, Kyoma, might be one such individual. You might have the power to observe convergence. You might be the one who can guide us to a world line beyond 1% divergence across the wall that divides attractor fields. Oh. The tone of Titor's mail has suddenly changed. He thinks I have some kind of power? First, I feel a sense of pride. Next comes apprehension. Could this be a trap? In the first place, I can't confirm if this is a real John Titor, and I don't even know if the Titor from 2000 was really a time traveler. If Titor's world line theory holds, then that could explain the supernatural events I've experienced. But this last statement is pretty hard to swallow. As soon as I begin to doubt, all of his words start to smell like lies. That stuff about the IBM 5100 might have been a lie too. That mysterious program code could be just a simple bug. Now that he claims I have special powers, he's starting to sound like some new age con artist. And besides, I don't need Titor to tell me that. Kurisu jerks at the sound of my laughter.
いきなり笑い出すのよ、気色悪い。
これが笑わずにいられるか。実に傑作ではないか。この俺が持つ力だと。今さらそんなこと言われなくとも、俺はとっくに気づいていたぞ、ジョン・タイター。
I snap my eyes wide open. I raise my phone high to the heavens.
この魔眼、リーディングシュタイナーの真の力にな。
話の流れはさっぱり見えんが、岡部次長しろとだけ言っておく。
え？あ。
Kurisu hides her face in her book. She pretends to read, but I can see from here that her ears are bright red. How does she know about Chunibyo? Is she an @channeler after all? No, that doesn't matter now. I need to reply to Titor. What is beyond the wall? What will happen when we cross it? John Titor writes, if we cross the wall, we will have freedom. If we do not, then the dystopia I came from will be your future. In exchange for providing false peace and joy, your masters will stamp out every vestige of free will. As I said on @channel, my goal is to change that future. And you may be the one who can make that possible. Okay, now it's getting creepy. Is this some new cult? Or is he really trying to con me here? He's also contradicting himself again. I like that Okarin has like a heavy skepticism here. The Titor who appeared in 2000 said he traveled back in time to retrieve technology lost in World War III. Yet this guy's saying he came to prevent the creation of a dystopia ruled by CERN. This guy might be an imposter. I'm fed up, so I quit replying. But just as I'm about to put away my phone, another mail comes. I open my phone reluctantly while enduring Kurisu's cold glare. And what I read there raises the hairs on the back of my neck. Hyoma, I want you to be the Messiah. What is this? Fear? Disgust? I don't know, but something is very wrong. And that is the end of chapter 3. We're going to pause here. Oh, I guess we can read this. Messiah, noun. 1. In Christianity, a title for Jesus Christ. 2. The one who brings salvation to mankind, Savior. 3. The one who rescues others from peril. That is a very extreme thing to say to someone. And anyways, we're going to pause here for now. So what did you think of the ending to chapter 3? We suddenly have John Titor telling Okarin that he might be the Messiah, which is a lot to tell someone. And I do apologize to Dado for ignoring your phone calls. I am playing this without using a guide, and because I want my first playthrough to be more organic. So I'm making choices that lean a little bit more towards Kurisu or Mairi. But we might be headed towards a bad end. No. But anyways, it's all in good fun for now. Anyways, please take care. Don't talk to shady people on the internet. That is Sai Konguru.